Is it possible for you to be able to scale your one-on-one business or your business while still doing one-on-one work when the whole world is telling you, stop trading time for money, stop doing it, you need to build a coaching program, you need to scale that up and bring as many clients as you can and enroll them into your program, and that's the only way for you to build your business and the only way for you to scale? Well, I've got news for you. I actually think that that doesn't have to be the only way, and there are certainly different ways of doing this in a way that still feels powerful and effective and something that still lights you up. Because I don't know about you, but for me, I actually do love doing one-on-one work. My business has a really great mix of both one-on-one clients and group coaching clients. And I don't believe that you need to choose one or the other. It's so funny because I kind of feel like what I see happening so much in the coaching industry is like this whole notion of like, you need to make your business scalable and you need to scale your business and you need to do everything to enroll as many clients. And, for a lot of people, especially when you're in the beginning phases of your business, although I guess that would depend, you really need to first worry about, how do I even enroll people? How do I get people through my process before you start worrying about how do I scale it and all of these different things. Obviously, you want to build mechanisms that make your business scalable as much as you possibly can, but also take into account that sometimes you do need to begin with doing one-on-one work. And more than begin with doing one-on-one work, it's really about, how do I do the thing that I love? I do believe that in business, there are actually no real formulas. Give me a one in the comments if you agree with that. I don't believe that there's a formula. I mean, I do think that there are little and big formulas that can lead to success, but I think that ultimately, if I'm being honest with you, success comes down to what works for you. And if somebody's telling you that the only way for you to build success is that if you build your program this way, or if you build a coaching business like that, or you do this or you do that, that's great, but that might be something that works for them, not necessarily for you. That's exactly what has happened to me in my own business. So in my own business, I started doing one-on-one work since the day, like when I began, right? Like I've always done one-on-one work. Part of what I do is build websites for my clients, which obviously requires one-on-one work. There's no way around that, right? And, over time, I eventually added in doing a group coaching program. But again, when I began, that's not how I started. I started with doing one-on-one work. And I really felt like that was really important to me, to build a business where I needed to figure out my message first, and I needed to figure out my processes and all of these things. Now, where I'm at right now is at a point where we've built a business that this month, for example, we are already at over $50,000 cash collected. And that is coming from a great mix of one-on-one and group coaching clients. So the question is, how do you scale your business and not scale out your time and make yourself like be a little bit miserable about your time because you have so many one-on-one clients, you don't have a life? So I'm going to give you two different things that you need to take into account for that to happen. If you're the type of person that you're like, I love doing one-on-one work, it lifts me up, it makes me feel good, I'm excited about it, I love it, and I don't want to quit. So I want to kind of give you a little bit of my perspective. So from my perspective, there's really two things that you need to take into account. Number one is the clients that you're working with. And number two, the processes and the systems that you have in place for that, right? So what do we mean with that? Well, first of all, when we talk about clients, for you to be able to build a business where you're taking a lot of one-on-one clients, you need to make sure that the one-on-one clients you have are exactly the right fit. Like those premium, ready to invest type of people who aren't people that you have to handhold along the way and that are sucking up your energy and sucking up like every little piece of you, because you feel now that because you charge high or because they hired you, you have to do everything and bend over backwards to like, what do you want, master, almost, right? I don't believe in that at all. I believe in working with clients who are self-led, who are responsible, who are committed, who are resourceful above anything else. And that is one of the reasons why I've been able to scale my one-on-one business as well, the one-on-one portion of my business, right? Because the people that I work with, my one-on-one clients, are absolutely amazing. They figure things out and they can come to me and see me as a leader and as an expert, and not as somebody who's here to answer dumb questions, or not dumb questions, but questions that are Googleable, basically, right? If they can Google it, then they should be Googling it. And if what they need is, how do I figure this perspective out? What is the strategy for this? What do you think I should be doing with my messaging? Or how do I make this better? Those types of very specific questions, that is what I want for my one-on-one clients. I don't want to be able to, or to be focused on answering questions that are, I don't know, like, how do I set up Calendly, or how do I send this email out, or whatever those simple things, because that is what the internet is for, right? So, or, whatever. But the point is, I really believe that for you to be able to scale your one-on-one business, or the one-on-one portion of your business, if that's what you really feel like doing, you need to make sure that you're working with the right people. Obviously, that comes down to your message, to making sure that you're attracting and speaking to the right people. Because if you're speaking to the victim type of people, the people that are like, I want you to do everything for me, and I hired you, so you better do this, then that's going to suck up your energy, and that's going to make it impossible for you to be able to scale your business. The other part of that is really taking into account, like, where is this person? What is going on for this person? Because I feel like if you're working with a client that depends on you for their livelihood, like literally, if you're a business coach, for example, you're working with somebody that like they're using the last dollar that they have on you, and this better work or else, well, then that pressure I feel is too much, right? So I don't take that type of client. Or if you're working with a relationship coach and they're like, you are a relationship coach, and they're like, if I don't make this relationship work with you, or like this is the last thing that I'm ever gonna do, I feel like that is not the right type of client. So it's really important that you're learning how to speak to the right type of client, so that when you are scaling your one-on-one business, all of those things, like the pressure is down, right? So if you are working more with people who are like, this is the last straw, like this is the last thing I'm doing, then scaling that type of business becomes more difficult, not because you can't probably make it happen, but because it becomes heavier. Everything becomes heavier. And then you're going to start resenting some of your clients, or, it just feels like, oh, like so much work, and it feels different. And therefore you're going to create resistance, and therefore you're going to create friction that's going to prevent you to actually scale your business, right? The second thing that you really need to take into account for scaling your one-on-one business are systems. That simple, right? So what that means is you need to have all the pieces in place so that you can scale profitably and effectively. So for me, I have so many systems in place, I can't even tell you. Emails that go out on their own, things that happen on their own, very limited number of one-on-one calls that they have with me. All of these things are very clearly defined, both in the contract, obviously, but then also within my own backend and my systems, like the emails that go out, all of the things that have to happen that allow me to be able to take on a bunch of one-on-one clients without really affecting my business or my time. Well, not my business, without really affecting my time or my life, right? Like I can bring on a bunch of one-on-one clients and they still get all my attention. But because I have a lot of systems in place, that allows me to be able to say, okay, well, great, I can bring more people in, and that's it, right? I think though that whether you have the systems in place or not, which you should, especially again, if you're looking to scale one-on-one business, but what I think that is really most important than anything else though, is having a lot of clear boundaries with your clients, right? A lot of clarity or a lot of things that should be cleared out both on your contract and in conversations with people, what is expected, what is not expected. The more that you are clear on these things, the easier the whole process is going to be for all of you. And that's what's going to ultimately allow you to bring in more of those better people. So these are all kind of some of the things that we focus on as well. And if you go to readytoinvestclients.com, you're going to find a training that I created that walks you through how to speak to those types of clients, because how the ultimate way for you to be able to scale your business while doing one-on-one work has to come down with you speaking to the ready to invest clients, to the premium people who are going to take action and do the work and going to respect your boundaries and going to respect you as an expert and not see you as their employee or like their, I don't know, like you fix this for me because I just paid you for that. That's not what we want. Instead, we want to speak to the type of people who will respect us and will value our time and will, get resourceful and take action and do the things that they need to do. But for that, you need to learn how to speak to the right people. That is the ultimate thing that needs to happen if you want to scale your one-on-one business, like for sure, right? And like I was mentioning, it really comes down to you figuring out what you prefer. If you're like, I really want to do one-on-one work because it's what's lights me up, which is one of the things that lights me up, well, you can do that, but make sure that you're speaking to the right people. So hopefully this makes sense. Let me know in the comments if it made sense for you, and let me know if you're doing one-on-one work or if you're doing group coaching, which one you prefer personally, and make sure you also ask me what you want me to talk about in another episode, and I will see you soon.